Guys, welcome to another exciting episode on Pious Football, where I bring you the latest in transfer news. We do tactical analysis of games and also talk about pertinent issues around football that you don't hear on mainstream European sports media. Now, today's stories are jam-packed, very big deals. Breakthrough in some very big deals coming up. So let's just go right in and start at the camp of Manchester United. Remember that Harry Maguire's move to West Ham was touted to be getting to a close as West Ham submitted £30 million for the player. United accepted the offer. They initially submitted £27 million. That was turned down. That it took a while, but West Ham came back with an improved offer of £30 million, and they reached a compromise between the two clubs. United willing to take a cut of an initially £40 million that they wanted for Maguire to £30 million. And now the ball is in the court of Harry Maguire, as I'm made to understand that West Ham are waiting for the player and his agent to decide whether they want to move to West Ham. Now, you remember Gary Southgate, the English manager, has, advised Harry Maguire to move from Manchester United and start getting playing time in another club if he wants to be part of the English team, the Three Lions, for their tournament in the summer in the Euros. So Maguire is looking to make a move right there. He's now been, I'm told, receptive to the offer from West Ham. Initially he wasn't, but he's beginning to understand that he's staying at United will not help his international career. So let's see if personal terms between Maguire and West Ham will materialize, and then hopefully before the start of the Premier League, Maguire will move to West Ham. Also at the camp of Manchester United, remember that we are playing a game against Wolves on Monday evening. We are going to be the last match day game for the weekend. Now, Wolves have sacked their manager, Julian Lopetegui. Remember the Spanish, former Spanish international who was sacked before his first game at the World Cup in 2018 in Russia because he signed a pre-contract with Real Madrid. The information leaked. Now he went to Madrid. He wasn't successful. He was sacked midway in the season. He stayed at home for a while, and then he joined Wolves. He took them through a very difficult spell last season. They nearly were relegated, but his experience as a coach, helped Wolves stay up. But this season, he's complaining of lack of signings at Wolves. I remind you, Wolves signed some very interesting players in the January transfer window. So they feel that they have already spent quite a sum of their budget in the summer transfer window. So, lack of transfers in the summer. This time, Lopetegui is complaining, and both the manager and the team have parted ways, and they have brought in Gary ONeill. Now remember, Gary ONeill was a manager at Bournemouth last season. He also was involved in a relegation battle, but he did very well. He put in a string of very good performances prior to the end of the season to help Bournemouth escape relegation. Now, Gary ONeill has been brought on as Wolves manager. So, Wolves having a change in technical direction right there before their game, first game of the season at Old Trafford. Also, at the camp of Manchester United, as Maguire is leaving, hopefully if he leaves, United have started making moves to replace him, and the news coming in is that a host of replacements have been lined up. On top of the pile, I'm made to understand, is Benjamin Pavard. Pavard is interested in the move. The manager is engaged in inside discussions at Old Trafford to decide if they will go for Pavard or Jean-Pierre Todibo. Now Todibo, player at OGC Nice, he was at Barcelona, never had a look in. He was sent he was sold to OGC Nice for €10 million. Of course, Barca have a buy a sell-on clause in there. So Todibo is also on the list of replacements for Harry Maguire, and also Tapsoba, also in the French league, also another option. So United in that order. Order of preference for Maguire replacements, Pavard, Todibo, and Tapsoba. So let's see if any of those deals will materialize. Now, for me personally, I prefer Todibo because he's a natural central defender. I know Benjamin Pavard to be a right back. He's always been playing there, but these days he's been tried in the central defense position and he's excelled. In their recent preseason game against, I think, Manchester City, he played in central defense. So I think that his versatility, playing in all the back four positions in defense, is kind of the attractive option for Manchester United. Mind you, he has a wide range of experience. He's 27 years. So currently at Carrington, Erik ten Hag and the transfer team are in negotiations to try and see if they will settle on either Pavard or Todibo. But if you ask me personally, I think that we should just go in for a natural central defender and bring in Todibo, a very young player, very promising. I think that he will be a good replacement for Harry Maguire. And if Varane gets injured, as he usually does, Todibo will be someone that we can rely on, especially when we are playing a high press. And he has a lot of pace behind him to, try and recover the ball if the ball is played behind him, which was one of the main issues why Harry Maguire cannot play under Erik ten Hag's system. So let's see how that goes for Todibo and Pavard. Also, one interesting transfer update I have for you is that Liverpool have outbid Chelsea for Moises Caicedo. Very hilarious. Interesting happenings right now in the Premier League. Remember that Chelsea bid £48 million to try and hijack Liverpool's move for Romeo Lavia from Southampton. Now, because of this, Liverpool have also outbid Chelsea for Moises Caicedo. Now, what is this merry-go-round going to bring? What are the outcomes of these bids? Are they going to be accepted? Is the tug of war between Chelsea and Liverpool, between Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo? Who is going to go where? Which way is it going? What is going to happen? All on Pious Football updates will come very soon. But currently, the news coming in is that yes, Liverpool have outbid Chelsea for Moises Caicedo. So let's see how that move will materialize. Also at the camp of Chelsea, the deal for David Washington. Remember the Santos international, Brazilian international who plays for Santos, 18-year-old striker, has joined Chelsea. That move, I told you that medical was what was left. Now the player is flying to London currently as we speak. He will land in today and then he will finalize a €50 million deal plus $3 million in add-ons for David Washington to Chelsea. Now rumors are that the player might actually be loaned to Strasbourg, as Chelsea usually does with players the sign of that caliber. Also at the camp of Chelsea, now the Lukaku and Vlahovic deal currently is off. Yesterday, Juventus played a friendly game, and what happened in that game actually forced the hand of the directors at Juventus to call off the deal. The fans, were singing, shouting, "No Lukaku, we don't want Lukaku." After the game, they went on the pitch. And so after the scenes, that happened, the Juventus directors are sort of have taken a U-turn on that deal. Besides that, Chelsea themselves feel that giving €40 million plus Lukaku to Juventus for Vlahovic is not a good deal. They feel that the players, Lukaku and Vlahovic, are almost at par in terms of talent and abilities. So they don't understand why they should add €40 million to Lukaku for Dusan Vlahovic. So Chelsea also decided to call off the deal. So currently, although Lukaku agreed a 3-year deal with Juventus, that deal currently is off. and so Lukaku would have to reconsider his decision not to go to Saudi Arabia, because currently there are no offers on the table for Romelu Lukaku at the moment. Also, at the camp of Chelsea, they have agreed a deal to sign this young chap, the American international Tyler Adams from Leeds United. Now, remember, I told you that there was a relegation clause of £20 million in the deal to sign Tyler Adams from Leeds United. So Chelsea inquired about Tyler Adams, and that clause, the clause was made known to Chelsea, and so they have activated that clause. And so currently, Tyler Adams is en route to London for a medical. So a lot of incomings in there for Chelsea. Tyler Adams will be looking to rejuvenate his career at Chelsea. As to whether he's going to get enough playing time is a story for another day. Mind you, that Chelsea are still, in negotiations with Brighton to try and sign Moises Caicedo. So obviously, they are looking to bring in Tyler Adams as a squad player and not as a starter, because Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo will be starting for Chelsea if the move for Caicedo goes through. So Tyler Adams coming in there as a squad player, I think probably it will be good for Chelsea. I don't know if the arrival of Tyler Adams and if the Caicedo deal goes through, they might let Conor Gallagher leave. Now, the player, Chelsea want £50 million for him. West Ham are interested. A host of other clubs are interested. So let's see what the move for Moises Caicedo and now the completed deal for Tyler Adams will mean for the young player Conor Gallagher. Also, at the camp of Chelsea, they have interestingly submitted a £48 million bid for Romeo Lavia of Southampton. Now, remember, I told you in my previous episode that this attitude of Liverpool dilly-dallying around that deal is going to cost them. Now, the problem now for Liverpool is that Chelsea have gone into the race. They have joined the race for Romeo Lavia. Now, the Southampton player is actually looking to join Liverpool. He's already spoken to Liverpool. He's interested in the project. I am not sure if the player will be receptive to joining Chelsea, considering that he's not the first choice central defender, but at Liverpool it's likely he might start. So let's see if on the player side, Romeo Lavia might influence that deal himself for Liverpool to get him across the line. Currently, Southampton are more receptive to the bid that Chelsea offered, £48 million plus £2 million in add-ons, for a total package of £50 million, which is what the team Southampton have been looking for. So let's see how that deal will materialize. Interesting times ahead. Also at the camp of PSG now, Kolo Muani has been an interest for PSG now. It was thought previously that Kolo Muani is someone they are looking to bring in as a striker, but the news coming in right now is that Kolo Muani wasn't a sort of a replacement for Kylian Mbappe, or now that they've signed Goncalo Ramos from Benfica, that they are going to cool their interest in Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani is a separate deal. They are looking to play him from the right wing. Remember, the player is left-footed. He can play on every part of the front three. So Kolo Muani in there. So it looks like PSG are targeting a front three of Ousmane Dembele, Kolo Muani, and Goncalo Ramos, which is very potent front three if you ask me. So Kolo Muani from Frankfurt might be making a move to PSG. The two teams are still in discussions over a deal. The club Frankfurt were looking to sell him for 80 million euros, but I believe that PSG can negotiate a deal close to somewhere around 60 million euros, considering the fact that every other club that was interested in Kolo Muani have cooled their interest, especially Manchester United. So let's see how that move will materialize. Also, at the camp of PSG, they are looking to send some players out of the team to help in their FFP wages, in terms of wages. And one of the players they are looking to sell is Hugo Ekitike. Now, Ekitike came in from Monaco last season, I think Monaco, for somewhere around 40 million euros. Now, this season, they are trying to sell him. Now, I am told that Everton are currently in negotiations with PSG to get Hugo Ekitike. The player, they've bid for him around 35 million euros. 30 million pounds, 30 million euros package. Now PSG are interested in somewhere around 35 million euros. So Everton will have to up their bid to try and get Ekitike over the line. Now remember, Everton have lost players. They are likely now, the bookies, the bookmakers are naming Everton as part of teams that could be relegated this season. So I mean, they need to be very up and doing in the transfer market. So Hugo Ekitike to Everton is actually a good news for the Evertonians. So let's see if that move will materialize. Also at the camp of West Ham now, they have concluded some very good deals. Remember that James Ward-Prowse has just signed for West Ham from Southampton for 30 million pounds. Now remember, they initially went in for him, a bid was rejected, but now that offer of 30 million pounds has been accepted by Southampton, and now the former Southampton captain James Ward-Prowse is en route to West Ham. Mind you that West Ham have already concluded Alvarez deal from Ajax, so interesting deals coming there. I don't know what that means for their move for Scott McTominay, because they were interested. I don't know if this deal now concluded means that deal for McTominay is dead. So let's see. Remember, they came in for with a bid of 30 million pounds. United turned that bid down. They wanted 40 million pounds. So let's see if West Ham will come. Now remember that another interesting move between West Ham and Manchester City now that is coming up is the deal for Lucas Paqueta. Now Lucas Paqueta is a subject of interest for Manchester City. They are trying to get the player to the team. Very surprising deal, actually. It came out from nowhere. City surprisingly wants a midfielder who can score more goals. So Paqueta has been identified as an option. Now they are trying to sign him. He has an 85 million pound buyout clause that can only be activated next year in 2024. So City are trying to see if they can negotiate their way around that obstacle. Now West Ham, remember, they've already lost Declan Rice, so they were not receptive to losing another defensive midfielder. But if City make an offer around 90 million pounds, that is the rumors coming in from London, is that if City make an offer around 90 million pounds, West Ham will be receptive to letting Lucas Paqueta leave. Remember, that money, big money move, is going to help them to reinvest in that position. So hopefully that move, if it happens, then maybe Scott McTominay might be revisited by West Ham. Currently, the player has agreed personal terms with Manchester City. He is very keen on the move. He's excited by the move, but Man City will have to meet the price that West Ham are willing to let go of the player, especially when we have just a few days left for the Premier League opener. So let's see how that move will materialize. Also, another move that I want to talk about is the fact that, remember, Denis Zakaria was on loan at Chelsea last season from Juventus. Now, currently, he's back to Juventus. Chelsea did not sign him. So, yeah, he is surplus to requirements at Juventus. So, Monaco are trying to sign him for somewhere around 25 million euros. Now, the rumors are that Juventus wants a total package of 30 million euros to release Denis Zakaria permanently. So currently Monaco are in negotiations to try and beat down the price. It is thought that an offer of around 25 million euros will be enough to get the player to play for Monaco. Now, the rumors are that Monaco are set to submit 22 million euros plus 3 million euros in add-ons for a total package of 25 million euros. So hopefully maybe that will be enough to convince Juventus to let go of Denis Zakaria. You remember they brought him from Germany, from Borussia Mönchengladbach just 2 years ago. But his life at Turin hasn't really worked well for him. He went on loan to Chelsea. It didn't work out. So now he's trying to see if Monaco in the Ligue 1 will be a place for him. So let's see how that move will go. Also, interesting news. This player has been in the transfer market for years now. Max Aarons, since he was 18 years old, he was touted as a wonder kid who would excel at a big club. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't really been able to make that big money move. But now, a move to Bournemouth. Now, it was thought that he was going to go to Leeds United. Leeds United have been in negotiations with Norwich City since last month to try and get Max Aarons. Now, that deal has been hijacked by Bournemouth. Bournemouth have signed Max Aarons for a deal of around £7 million plus add-ons. So that deal is done. Max Aarons is headed to Bournemouth. Interesting deal right there for the player. Also, another free agent transfer that I want to talk about is Ross Barkley. Now, Ross Barkley has made a move from OGC Nice to Luton Town. Remember, Luton Town, newly promoted club in the Premier League, looking to make waves. Maybe if they can stay up, it will be good for them. But I don't know if Ross Barkley is the player to help them stay up. Remember, Ross Barkley has had a tremendous career. He moved from Everton in a big money move to Chelsea, but his career didn't work out well for him. He moved to OGC Nice as a free agent, but things have not worked out for him at all. So he's back to the Premier League with Luton Town. So I mean, hopefully it works out for him there. Also in the camp of PSG, remember that I said that they are looking to sell some players. Neymar on the list, Marco Verratti, another player on the list. Is a subject of interest from Al Hilal. Remember the team that tried to sign Mbappe, Al Hilal. They've already signed some big players in there, but now they are trying to sign Marco Verratti. They brought 30 million euros. That bid was turned down by PSG. They wanted more. Now they've brought 45 million euros. The news coming in is that bid will also be turned down. PSG feel that Marco Verratti, although his surplus to requirements at PSG, is still very important player. So they are hoping to get somewhere around 60 million euros for Marco Verratti. So Al Hilal will have to come back again if they are interested in the player. Also at the camp of Napoli, I told you previously that they in my previous episodes, I said that Napoli wanted to sign Gabriel Vega, the Spanish wonder kid from Celta Vigo. They submitted a bid somewhere around 25 million euros. That bid was immediately turned down. Mind you, the player has a 40 million euro release clause in his contract. Now, Napoli have come back with an improved offer of 33 million euros plus add-ons for Gabriel Vega. The player has agreed personal terms with Napoli. He's interested in the move. It is up to Celta Vigo now if they want to accept an offer that is lower than the buyout clause in the player's contract. Also at the camp of Titi, you remember Titi, a Brazilian player who plays for Shakhtar Donetsk because of the war in Ukraine. FIFA allows players to leave for free. The player has left for free to Galatasaray. He signed a 4-year deal. So interesting deal for Galatasaray. Remember, they will be in the Champions League this year, so they are trying to get in some quality players. So Titi, or Titi, as he is known in Brazil, is en route to Turkey as we speak to join Galatasaray. Also at the camp of Chelsea, one of their players, Cesar Casadei, who was planned to go on loan, has joined Leicester City. They believe that Leicester City has the platform to help the player improve on his game. Part of their redevelopment plan to send out players that they've signed on loan to develop them for the future. So let's see if Casadei's move to Leicester City will help him in the long run. Also at the camp of Manchester United, they are negotiating with Bayern Munich for Benjamin Pavard. I said that Pavard is on the top of the list of replacement for Harry Maguire. So let's see how the Pavard move will go. Also at the camp of Manchester United, Fred has rejected a move to Saudi Arabia. He wants to play for Fulham. Remember, Fulham came in with an offer below £20 million earlier in the transfer window. That bid was turned down. Fulham feel that Fred is not up to the price that United are demanding for him. A host of other clubs also are interested, but their offers are well below the valuation that United are looking for. Man United want to sell Fred for around £20 million. So far, no club is willing to pay that amount. So let's see if Fulham will be able to get close, or a compromise can be reached for Fred. Now, Fred move has been delayed because of this. He doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, and so because there are several offers from Saudi on the table, but he wants to go to Fulham. So let's see how that move will go. Also at Manchester United, Eric Bailly, one of the players that is looking to make a move because we want to free our wage bill. Eric Bailly has an offer from Al Nassr on the table, but I think that offer was withdrawn because of injury issues or something like that. Now, the news coming in is that he has agreed personal terms with Besiktas, the Turkish club Besiktas. Now, the problem is that he wants to go as a free agent. So he is currently in negotiations with the Chiefs at Old Trafford to try and see if they will terminate his contract so that he can go on a free. So interesting deal going on there. Let's see if Eric Bailly can be able to make that move to Besiktas. Also, the big news coming in is that Aston Villa, remember I told you, ambitious Aston Villa, they've signed some very big name players. Chief of them is Moussa Diaby from Bayern Leverkusen, who came in for around £60 million. Now, they are in negotiations with Galatasaray to sign Nicolo Zaniolo. The player wants to move to the Premier League. Now, why this deal now? The news coming in is that Aston Villa are trying to replace Emiliano Buendia, the Argentine international, who ruptured his anterior cruciate ligament in training. You know, we have just 2 days to the opener, Premier League opener for Aston Villa. Now they've lost their talisman, Emiliano Buendia, through injury, so they are trying to quickly replace him with another left-footed schemer in midfield, and that is Nicolo Zaniolo from Galatasaray. So, I mean, Galatasaray are not willing to let the player leave, but if the player wants to go and the price is good, maybe Aston Villa can get the deal over the line before their Premier League opener. Also, the last story for today is at the camp of Bayern and Tottenham Hotspur. The big news is that finally Harry Kane is going to move to the Allianz Arena if he is able to agree personal terms with Bayern. Now, the news is that the bid of around 100 million euros has been accepted by Tottenham Hotspur. It is thought to be more than 100 million euros. Details of the exact price will be coming in my next episode. I'll bring you details of the bid in my next episode. But right now, the news is that finally Daniel Levy has accepted a bid of more than 100 million euros for Harry Kane. He's going to move to the Allianz Arena. So now it is up to the player. Remember, the player told Bayern Munich that they need to get that deal over the line before the start of the Premier League. If the Premier League starts and they have not agreed a deal with Bayern, he's going to call off the deal and stay at Tottenham and leave for free. So Bayern had to do whatever they can to get that deal on the line before Friday, which is the start of the Premier League. So, I mean, it's good news for both Bayern Munich fans and also for Tottenham camp. So let's see how that move will materialize. I'm sure Harry Kane will agree at personal terms with Bayern, and he will be able to move to the Allianz Arena before the weekend. So that is it. The news I have for you today. I'll bring you more interesting news, details of several of the news coming in my next episode. This is Pious Football. Like the YouTube channel for daily updates on my uploaded videos, and also like the video if you loved what you just heard. Thank you very much for staying with me. Bye.